how to live fullest life? This is a wonderful question with variety of answers. Now, we should try to understand what life is and on how many planes one lives the life. Initially, the very first one is physical life. Second is mental life, emotional life. And third is spiritual life or metaphysical life or parapsychological life. So we'll start with first one, that is physical life. So what are the secrets to live perfect, holistic, compound and complete physical life? So to know that, we'll have to understand what physique means. Physique is made up of basic elements. Body is made up of few elements. And those elements are, Panchatattvas, Panchamahabhutas. And how these Panchatattvas, 5 basic elements, are compounded, integrated, mixed and sustained. That is another secret. So, to make all the 5 basic elements assimilated, there is something very, very important to proportionately assimilate these basic 5 elements. Those are material values. To assimilate them, what is required, that is non-matter. Like, as we know, that our life is gone with the soul. If soul goes away, then body becomes dead. And what is soul? Soul has no physical existence, but it has metaphysical, ethereal existence. But that non-matter is responsible to sustain, to keep this matter, the composition of matter that is called body, alive. So to keep material value sustained, non-matter is very important. So if we don't take care of non-matter, we focus only on material value, then we won't reach to the perfect health. And unless we reach the perfect health, we won't enjoy the physique, because all those things which can be tested in pathological labs, we must have seen in many members of our families and friends. And what happens, that all the tests, pathological tests, say that everything is normal, but the person is sick. What does it mean? It means that all the proportions of material value which are required in ideal healthy physique, all those things are found perfectly, in perfect proportion, perfect order in human physiology. But a person is sick. So what is the secret? That all those material values are in proportion, but that non-matter which is responsible to keep it sustained, that is not in right harmony with all these things. So how to nourish that non-matter? To nourish matter, we have plenty of material values, all herbs and shrubs and fruits and vegetables and minerals and salts and all those things, whatever we find in nature. All these material values can be that can supplement the deficiency of material value in the body. But as we know, that many times it happens that all pathological lab test of pathological lab says that a person is normal, everything is in right proportion, in right range. Then why a person is sick? Because that non-matter which is responsible to make or keep a man healthy, happy, blissful, that is not there in harmony. Huh? So how to address that? It means we must have some knowledge which addresses these non-material values. Till now, we see all medical sciences, they teach anatomy, they teach nervous system, they teach cardiology and nephrology and ECG, EEG, all material values, everything which is related with material values. So, but the thing is that when everything which is matter is in harmony, it's in right proportion, it is in right range. In all pathological lab tests, we see that this is the figure, and in bracket it is written that this is the ideal range. So when everything is in ideal range, then why a person is sick? Because health is not merely having all the material values in right proportion, but the non-material should be in right proportions too, which is the main power which sustains the material value, body, human physiology. So how to address that? So we must have some knowledge to address that non-material supplement which keeps the body healthy. And what is that? Now we'll have to understand Vedic science very soundly, very holistically, and we must understand why Vedic science is required. Because now modern science means science which makes tests on matter, and if the same test is repeatedly done on the matter, then same result should come, and this is the definition of science. So, but here something typical happens, that modern science, modern health, modern physicians, they say that these are the ideal range of body materials, and pathological tests are saying that all these things are in order, in proportion, in right whatever body requires as per that requirement. So then why a person is sick? Here comes the Vedic science. Because Vedic science says, what is the definition of the healthy person? Samadosha samagnisha samadhatu malakriya prasan atma indri manaswastati vidhiyate. As I have repeatedly said it in many other lectures, that what samadosha, Vat, Pitta, Kapha, these are basic, these are called three doshas. Vat means air, Pitta means Agni, fire, Kapha means all liquid, water content and all. So these things should be in order. Samagni, all types of fire, Samadhatu, all types of 7 types of dhatus are there, tissues are there, Rasa, Rakta, Mas, Med, Asti, Vajja, Shukra. Then Samadhatu, then some molecular digestive system. So all these material values are in order, but a person is sick because these things can be tested in pathological lab. So all these things are in right proportion in human physiology, but the report says everything is normal, but another report says the person is sick. So why a person is sick? This is another line which defines the health. It says, first line says, Samadosha, Samagnisha, Samadhatu, Malakriya. Another line says, Prasan Atma, Indriya, Mana, Swastati Vidyate. It means it says Prasanna Atma, that soul should be happy. Indriya, all the senses, and mana. So unless mind, body, mind, senses, souls are happy, and what happy means? Happy means when these non-material, it can't be tested in pathological labs. It can only be felt in the body. One can only feel it, one can only experience it, one can only sense it. So it can't be tested in any lab. So it means that these non-material values, these abstract values, can be enlivened proportionately by another science and technology of Vedic science, that is called SthapatyaVed. The SthapatyaVed, a very small part of SthapatyaVed is Vastu Shastra. Because SthapatyaVed means science of establishment. Tishtati tistha, tesham patiti sthapati. Tishtha means to sit. To sit means anything which occupies a space. Tishtati tistha, anything which occupies a space, it is stha. Sthavar and Jangam, there are two types of manifested values. So anything which occupies a space, the knower of this knowledge is called Sthapati. That is called Vastu Shastra also. So anything which occupies three-dimensional space means anything which is matter, which is manifested value in the universe, is the field of the study of Sthapati, SthapatyaVed. And what is the definition of SthapatyaVed? The definition of SthapatyaVed is manifestation from unmanifest and establishment of consciousness in it. This is something very, very important. Manifestation from unmanifest and establishment of consciousness in it. That is called SthapatyaVed. Sthapat means to establish. Ved means knowledge. The knowledge of establishing anything. The science and technology of establishing anything, and not only establishing anything, but making it enlivened. When we make a sculpture, then pran pratishtha is done. Then it becomes very lively like human being. And it is established in Garbhagriha, sanctum sanctorum in a temple. And it is taken care of very soundly, like a live body. So that is called pran pratishtha. That is called establishment of consciousness in it. And that is the secret. That is the secret, and that is the field of which can substitute the lacking of modern science. When pathological tests say that a person is absolutely normal, but a person is genuinely sick. Why? Because all those material values which can be tested in pathological lab, those are in standard parameters, but a person is sick because non-material value, consciousness, mind, soul, that is called nirguna nirakar. Absolute, it can't be cut, it can't be burned, it can't be, you can't make it wet. It means it is absolute. So when that is happy, mind is happy, senses are happy, then only a person is happy. But science is when you can test something and you multiply the test and then you get the same result, that is science. But here it is something different. The consciousness, the soul, that mind is, it behaves differently in different persons. The same thing makes one person happy, one person sad, one person happy, one person irritated. It means the same senses, the same soul, which is in different people, they behave differently, because all those things which are considered till today as philosophical terms, as spiritual terms, but I am emphasizing on it very, very precisely, very, very carefully, and with underlining it very boldly, that these are not philosophical, spiritual, or abstract terms. It is very, very much physical, material, and terms of science and technology of modern medical sciences. It should be incorporated in modern medical sciences, because those samskaras, those thoughts, those trainings, those memories, those structured consciousness which are imbibed in the personality of a person, that things are responsible to make a person react in the way one reacts. Because something very good, very positive can receive a negative reaction from a person who is not having right samskaras. Right and wrong samskara means all those thoughts, all those memories, all those trainings which nourish the nature, which nourish the natural laws, all those things are good samskaras. And what are the bad samskaras? Good and bad is very relative term. But what are bad samskaras in general? Those which are not nourishing natural laws. Those are not nourishing ecosystem. Like those are not nourishing nitrogen circle, as we know in science, environmental sciences. Those which are not nourishing natural laws or ecosystem or nitrogen circle or human nourishment, which is making somebody sick, somebody stressed, somebody complex. It means it is creating negativity in the society. It means those samskaras are not good samskaras, and those are responsible to create stress, negativity in the society, which is responsible to pollute the society, to pollute the nature, because those polluted people, those negative people, they cause harm to the nature in happiness, in bliss, in ecosystem, in environment, and in the health of environment. Because that tendencies, they create negativity, they create destruction. But anybody who is having good samskaras, and again I am repeating, it is nothing to do with only spirituality or moral values. No, it is very much dynamic scientific terms of science and technology of human behavior, which is responsible to act, react, and create something good or bad in society. So it is very much tools, it is metaphysical tools which are responsible to construct or destruct the society. So it means that their Vedic science comes, that how to train the consciousness, how to train the mind, how to train the behavior, how to train the thought process of an individual, that how to behave materially, metaphysically, emotionally, socially, environmentally. So these are all subject of Vedic science, because Vedic science takes care of holistic values. So how these things are nourished? These things are nourished only by audio visual education. And all those, generally one thinks that if in Chaturmas Bhagavat is, somebody is giving discourses on Bhagavat and Ramayana and Ramcharitmanas and all these things. So it is merely just somebody is going there and getting some spiritual pleasure and all that. No. You must understand, we must understand it very, very, very carefully, that I would say maximum things which are used in life in day-to-day life, in day-to-day decision-making process, those teachings which are there in Bhagavad, in Ramcharitmanas, in Devi Bhagavad, and those stories, they make all the right perspective in life and in the society, in the human consciousness. So it helps in taking right decision, which is blessed with right values, right relationships, right ecosystem, right behavior, right emotions to be executed and taken care of. So all these things are only enlivened not by the syllabus, not by questioning, answering, and memorizing something and putting it out on the newspaper, on the answer book, and forgetting after a few months when you go in next class. No, all those things which are taught or which are given in discourse of all the great saints in all those Bhagavad Kathas and Ramcharitmanas Kathas. This is something wonderful. It plays a great role in keeping society in order, because when in these lectures, if a right value is sowed in the consciousness of a person, one imbibes the consciousness enriched with all these teachings, then whatever literate or illiterate a person is, whatever educated or uneducated person is, if these values are imbibed and soaked in the consciousness of a person, then what happens? It is sown like a seed in the consciousness. Whatever age one understands and listens those kathas, and gradually it grows and grows and grows in multidimensional branches and all that in the consciousness. So as one grows, it never like you read some syllabus, after 2 years you don't know a single word of that syllabus. But here, because in those kathas, in Bhagavatas, in Devi Bhagavat and Ramcharitmanas and all those things which are required in day-to-day life to take right decision, whether it is emotional or it is social or it is political or it is personal or it is interrelational, every values are enlivened in your consciousness. So this is something, and this is not taught. We are not teaching it in any syllabus of university, right from nursery to PhD, DSc, D.Litt level. But so how can we expect right decision? We are not teaching how to take right decision in any syllabus, right from nursery to PhD, DSc, D.Litt level. In which subject we are taking how to take right decision? What are right values? What are right things to do in personal relationship, and social relationship, political relationship, in favor of your country and all that? In which syllabus, in which subject we are teaching that? We should come and rethink our syllabus carefully, holistically. So unless we teach all these good things in syllabus, how can we expect somebody to behave in very honest, value-based life, very ideal emotional life, very ideal social life, very ideal economical life, very ideal and national and patriotic life? In which syllabus we are teaching? In which syllabus, physics, chemistry, maths, political science, we are teaching all these things? Tell me that. We are not taking care of that. But we are expecting that every student should become an ideal citizen. How? Miracles don't take place. One has to take care of it very systematically, right from like we were doing it in Vedic system. All the solar sanskar, right from when a child took birth, even before taking child's birth, right from Posuvan Samskar, all the 16 samskaras were there. In what we were doing in that samskaras, we were not teaching simply syllabus of CBSE or ICSE or boards and this recognized by this commission and that commission. No, those were very realistic groundwork done by the scholars, rishis, maharshis, brahmarishis, that what is the real values required in day-to-day life, along with all the subjects, or four Vedas, Upavedas, Vedangas, Upangas, all the knowledge of physics, chemistry, maths, astrology, agriculture, architecture, music, dance, creativity, crops, so many things, whatever in Chaucer Kalas and all the branches of Veda and Upavedas and all that, all the branches were taken care of, whether physical, mental, spiritual, social, political, Niti Shastra, all Samhitas. Samhitas means everything together. It was Vashisht Samhita, Narad Samhita, Garg Samhita. Samhita means together. And in all those Samhitas, all the grammar, architecture, music, values, political, social value, everything was there. That was called Samhita. So in Vedic system, in those samskaras, we were sowing all those seeds which are required in day-to-day life in every individual. And it is beyond caste, creed, sex, political, social, geographical, or boundaries, national, international boundaries. It was very humane. It is very humane. It was very humane. It was very lively. And that's why it is sustaining from time immemorial. All Satyugas and, Treta, Dwapar, Kalika, hundreds and thousands of years. It is not merely a culture of 5, 6, 7,000 years. 4,32,000 is, Kali Yuga. And we multiply it and we have Dwapara, and we multiply it and we get Dwapara and Treta. And so we should take care of it because it is time tested. It is time tested, It is time tested from time immemorial. If we see the architecture, the sculpture of 1,000 years ago, in West 3, 4, 500 years ago, we got basics of astronomy, and in 1,000, 2,000 years ago, what we find, if you observe the sculptures, the ornaments of sculpture, drapery, clothing, ammunition holded by those sculptures. It is mesmerizing, it is astonishing, it is surprising. But those who are very well acquainted with Vedic science, they don't surprise because they know whatever is there. So just see the intricate, ornaments, crown and throne and so many furnitures or ammunition or clothing. And see the great technology, how great metallurgy, how great technology, how great textile designing and weaving and ammunition, metallurgy, technology, how precise calculations are required to create Tanjore temple, Khajuraho temple, Brihadeshwar temple. See the highest level of mathematics, architecture, science and technology, metallurgy, planning, vision, perspective, how all these holistic branches are required. It is not merely a monument of spirituality. It folds, unless the highest level of mathematics, highest level of vision, highest level of science and technology, highest level of metallurgy, highest level of planning and execution, and unless we have all those technology and all those mode of transportation, how can you make such a huge structure? One good structure like Brihadeshwar temple, it It is the monument, it is the certificate, it is the representation which shows how great, grand science and technology and knowledge and mathematics and see the temples where you can see every window can show a right sun of right moment in right month. See the precision of astronomy. So one should try to understand what one should become proud of all these, just come out of lack of confidence and inferiority complexes and all that. Be what you are, what you wear. Know what you are. Know what we must be proud of. We must try to revive and relive all those things along with whatever development we achieved in modern science. We are not going to discard it, but try to understand and revive and relive all those things which were there from time immemorial, So those were the samskaras which were making every individual, because you can't govern, only few thousand Britishers ruled 30-35 crores of Indians. Why? How? What was the technology? कहते हैं राजा नहीं राज करता, राजा का प्रताप राज करता है. It is said that it is not merely king who rules, it is the mighty of ruler which rules. It means if we know, if we are proud of our knowledge and technology, that confidence, that pride will make us held our heads high, and everybody will follow you, pray you, appreciate you, because they know what you are. We don't know what we have. But many brilliant people all over the globe, they know, they have translated your literature. They are exploiting all those things. They are making their economy wealthy. They are making their science and technology from here to where. But we are made fools. So now this is the right time to revive, to get our confidence back, to know our pride, what proud literature, science and technology, everything we have. So now, if we want to live physical health, we must know how to revive all those samskaras, all those with audiovisual education, which was given through all these kathas and bhagavatas and all these great scholars. It is not merely telling stories in big pandals and thousands and thousands people are just attending and enjoying it for a spiritual benefit. It is not merely spiritual benefit. It is something which is required in day-to-day life, day-to-day decision-making process, in personal relationship, in family relationship, in social relationship, in taking right political decision, in right decision for making eco-friendliness, nature, how to nourish nature, how to regard. We always praise rivers and trees, and we have all the festivals, all the rituals which give reverence to rivers and trees, special trees in special seasons. All these things are which are responsible to make physically healthy. So if we want to attain physical health, all these things are to be revived, because we are not teaching how to live perfect health, how to enjoy perfect health. There is no syllabus in any system of education available in our country how to be healthy physically, mentally, spiritually, socially, emotionally. We don't teach in syllabus. So those things are there in kathas. What these great scholars do, preach whatever literature we have in Vedas, Vedas, Vedantas, Upanishads. So we must revive. So what I was talking about, that material values can be supplemented by material values all around, by herbs, shrubs, medicines, minerals and all those things, how to nourish all those non-material values which are responsible to make, as I told you the shloka, samadosha samagnisha samadhatu malakya san atma indri manaswastati vidyate. So it means to make your physical value well in right proportion, healthy, all these material values are required. But to keep your soul, mind and senses happy, what are the knowledge, branches of knowledge responsible? In that, the most important branch of knowledge is Sthapatyaved. Sthapatyaved, Vastu Shastra is a small branch of that. What type of radiations are required? What type of sun? What type of radiation from planets, constellations? What side, what windows, what doors should be in which side? What proportion should be open? So that radiation, which is non-material value, that should enter in your house. It is not only positive and negative energy, which is used very oftenly in every so many things. It is very, very, very precisely classified energies. In every degree matters. In which direction, what radiation of planets and constellations and natural celestial bodies they are entering in your body and making the ambience healthy, and that is resulting in health and happiness and bliss of your mind, senses and soul. Happy. It is resulting in the health and bliss in all that. So that is something which is taking all the colors, proportions, radiation, opening of windows, opening of doors in right placement and opening of all these door windows in right places in all directions, and in what proportion, what should be open, what should be closed, and it is very related to the person, profession, biochemical structure that is shown in has astrological horoscope and all that. So one should take care of the individual who is living in that house, the profession of that, biochemistry of that person, temperament, behavior, and what longitude, latitude, all these things are constructed. These are very, very important things which are responsible to make your physical health perfect as well as samadosha. These things are responsible to keep your three doshas in harmony. Samadhatu, all the tissues healthy. Samadosha, samagnisha, all type of agnis. Samadhatu, all type of dhatus, tissues. And digestive system or liver, functioning of liver and all that. Like we know that if somebody, newly born baby starts suffering from jaundice, these all modern allopathic doctors, they say that expose this young newly born baby in rising sun and jaundice goes away, and jaundice is the problem of liver. It means if a baby is exposed in rising sun, early morning sun, and jaundice goes away, it means that radiation, which is non-matter, is responsible to create some matter, which is responsible to cure those chemicals which can cure liver. It means those non-material values are having medicinal properties. Similarly, in afternoon 3-4 p.m. when temperature goes 48 degree and your body is exposed with that from the big window in southwest, then it will increase pitta, acidity, and one will start having acidity, insomnia, anxiety, restlessness, and unless you address that problem, your physique can't be healthy. So that's why Sthapatyaved Vastu Shastra is a very important branch which will make your physiological, all those aspects healthy which can be tested in pathological labs, as well as those aspects which cannot be tested in pathological lab, right? Prasan Atma Indriya Manaswastati Vidyate, right? So these good cross ventilations, good radiations, good temperature, radiation from different celestial bodies from different directions. So these radiations of different celestial bodies in right proportion, in right direction, that is responsible to make the non-material body, non-material value of body happy, healthy, in harmony, in right proportion, right? So that's why these are very important branches of Vedic science, which can make you physically healthy, mentally healthy, spiritually healthy. So these are the secrets of Vedic science, which can make you healthy, physically, mentally, spiritually. Then only you can live life, enjoy life holistically with this fullest potential. So unless we revive all the branches of Vedic science, it is very difficult, because when it is said in Dr. Nijavadvidya, the doctor refused it, and it is incurable diseases. All these terms, if we go, I repeat it with very confidence, with very precision, with very great commitment, that if we try to go deep into all branches of Vedic science and technology, we will try to understand that how true all these statements are, and how can we address these problems which are considered as incurable. Like it is said in English also, that prevention is better than cure. So in all the great Chinese travelers like Huyen Sang, Faihan, what they wrote that yes, they don't become sick. But if they become sick, then they just change their food and something, and they become all right. And if they fall sick, then they have the knowledge of all this Ayurveda and all that. They make themselves cured. So just try to understand that all these very serious terms, incurable diseases, irreversible diseases, we will try to understand that how genuine or fact or true these words are. So, but we'll have to go very thoroughly, very deeply, very, very sensitively, and with very open mind, without having any hindrances and complexes and rigidity of caste, creed, sex, political, social, or religious, any limitations. Because these are the branches of knowledge which are based on natural laws, and these are universal, and it is affecting every individual on the globe without considering any limitation. So with very open mind, with very open creativity, with very open consciousness, with very healthy consciousness, with very open-mindedness, if we try to go deep, we dive deep into the Vedic sciences, all the branches of Vedic science, then we can address all the problems of humanity. Because there are many diseases, people are suffering, and after spending billions of dollars, in research and development and this and that, one reaches nowhere. There are many diseases which can be cured. We don't know why it happens. Alzheimer, Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, so many things. We are trying to find out, but we get some glimpse, but we don't get the proper 100% cure or all those. We can't address these problems holistically, perfectly, and we can't cure so many diseases. Why? Because if something is happening, then there must have some reason, and if we can address that reason properly, it can be cured. This is science, no? Science means if we repeatedly do the same experiment, the same result should come. So if something is not in right proportion and we create right proportion, then disease must go. This is very simple science. So, but because now science means dealing with matter, and when matter finishes, then on which thing you are going to interact and research. So, but the Vedic science is dealing with non-matter, with that ether, with that potential which creates matter. This is something very, very, very important point I am telling. One, all the great good scientists should go deep into it with very careful, comprehensive and deep thoughts, that this is the knowledge what Vedic science is dealing with. That is the knowledge of non-matter which is responsible to create matter. That is the dimension which is potential of matter. And that, because that is non-matter, it can be tested. So that is something very, very important, because it can't be tested in lab. So it can only be experienced. So that is the field of consciousness, the potential of consciousness, that Brahma Tattva, that ultimate Turiyavastha, that has to be taken care of as a latest science and technology. It is beyond quantum mechanics, it is beyond unified field. Unified field is having the term of unification, but that absolute, what we are talking about, that Shiva Tattva, that is not even unified field, because unified field, the term itself shows unification, and that is not unified thing. That is something beyond unification. That is purely absolute. That is why it is called Advaitam. It can be quantified. That's why it said it is not two. Unification means we are expressing or denoting something which is unified, which is having everything together or unified. But here the thing is not unified, it is beyond unification. That is the reason, that is the potential which creates unification. It is one step ahead or multiple step ahead of unification. That has the possibility, potential of unification or bifurcation or manifestation or multiplication or quantification. That is beyond that, and that is Brahma Tattva, that is Shiva Tattva, that is Turiyavastha, that can be experienced. The tool, the mechanics, the machine to acknowledge that or experience that or research on that, it's simply knowing thyself. And that is a different level of consciousness one goes to. So that is something which should be taken care of, and that will create real happiness. Because unless we know like God particle, when we are using God and we are using particle, particle is the manifested value, and when something is manifested, it itself defines that it limitizes itself. Particle means something which is manifested, and when something is manifested, as soon as something is manifested, it limitizes it, it quantifies it, it qualifies it. And when something qualifies it, when it quantifies it, then how can it become God particle? God means which create everything, particle and non-particle, organic and inorganic, sthavar and jangam, animate, inanimate, everything. It is beyond relativity. So how can you term God and particle both together? It can't be God particle. Whatever you say that it is the building block, it is the basic particle, that is okay. But as soon as you say God particle, you create blunders. God can't be particle. God is the potential. God is the ultimate. It is not unified level even. That is the potential of unification. That is the something which is beyond unified or multiplied or quantified level. That is absolutely absolute. That's why, it is said Advaitam, not two. They didn't say it's single, because it can't be multiplied, it's not singularity, it can't be plurality. So that is beyond relativity. That That's why it is said Advaita. So we should try to find out it's not God particle. God can't be particle. God is absolute, absolute of absolutes. It's not unified field of quantum mechanics, even because unified is denotes unification, and that is not unification. That is the potential, and that is responsible for unification. That is much, much, much bigger thing than unified value, unification. Huh? So we must try to understand all this, and the only method, only text, only knowledge, only science and technology is lively there in Vedic science and technology, Vedic Vangmaya. We should go deep into it, thorough into it, and without having any complexes and superiority or inferiority complexes, without any prejudices, without any hesitations, without any boundaries, with very open mind, open hand, open heart. We should go deep into it for the sake of the benefit and absolute health, ultimate health, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, political, social, environmental. The only solution is Vedic science and technology, and just be beyond all the isms and all the definitions given by this scientist or that scientist. Just be beyond that. Be beyond religion. Be beyond political. Be beyond social. Be beyond religious or geographical or longitudinal or latitudinal. Go beyond longitude and latitude stuff of everything, and be very open-minded. Go and dive deep into Vedic science and technology, and really get all the solutions. See the examples of 2000 years ago's temple, their ornaments, their tools, their mathematics, their astrological, astronomical calculations. See how they can, in multiple stories, they can see a right sun at right direction with right angle at right time. See the mathematics, astronomical calculation. All those brilliant things are very much there. Now this is the time to benefit humanity above everything. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Above everything, every human life, every human's emotions are important, beyond everything. And the solution to address every individual of this lovely earth, every individual, not only every human being, every creature is important for anybody who's enlightened, who loves the nature, who really loves the God. Every creature of nature is important for the person who is dedicated to the God, to the Almighty, to that power, to that universe, to that Mother Nature, who is responsible to create everybody. One should be thankful to that, to thy great nature, great Mother, and everybody should have the same consciousness. And as soon as we get the same consciousness of that real Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, everybody will be very, very caring, loving, affectionate with every creature. Forget the human being only. With every creature, whether it is animate and animate. Everybody would start living, nourishing life. How beautifully, how maximum one can nourish each other. So this is something which will create the best of health, of physique and spirit, and this is something which will help in living holistic and best of life, and fullest life of all dimensions, all level, and till we get the body and we are in the body, And when we leave the body, our consciousness, because consciousness never decays, body decays, we make another body, another. So, till we are in this body, we'll nourish everybody. When we leave the body, our absolute, that consciousness will nourish everybody, so that our physical world will become happy, healthy, holistic, blissful, as well as material value will become happy, healthy, peaceful, lovely, as well as non-material value. Because when we all leave the body, we leave the body and we'll live in that dimension which is absolute. So we leave this material world happy, healthy, blissful, and we'll make the absolute level after leaving the body happy, healthy, blissful, eternal, nourishing to each other. So this is the best way to live fullest of life. One should take care of, everybody should take care of, and everybody should enliven all these branches of knowledge of Vedic science and everybody's consciousness. I wish very great future for this whole earth, Mother Earth, and every citizen living on this whole great, good, beautiful planet, along with all creatures created by great God, Mother Nature. Let us nourish each and everybody till we are here with the body, and leave very good emotions here and take along everything good with us, so that wherever we go, when we leave the body, we create beautiful, blissful, happy totality, enjoying, nourishing in all other words also. Let's enjoy Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Nirama.